Hey guys, quick disclaimer. I filmed this Q&A like almost a week ago at this point, before I came up with the skeleton pyramid. So I would have answered a lot of these questions differently. Now having the pyramid would have just simplified a lot of my responses. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. If you guys want a free download that you can put on your fridge or wherever, you can print one. I made a website called skeletondiet.com, so you can get yours there. So yeah, thanks, and let's just get into it.
Disclaimer: this man's libido is in healthy functioning levels. Further questioning on the matter is not required. Thank you.
Sergeant Skeletor here, coming at you live from Skeleton City. Another day, another Q&A, so let's jump into it. Would love to hear more about how your wife lost the weight and whether she is in Skeleton City with you. I'm pretty thin, 5'4", 118 pounds, but trying to get rid of some stubborn fat on my hips. I'm stalling a bit on the sugar diet, doing fruit, honey, juice, steamed veg, salad, and some candy when bored. Cole says not to count calories, but how can I get out of Stall City? So at 5'4", 118 pounds, you're already pretty slim. So from what you said, maybe candy when you're bored, like, are you hungry or are you just bored, you know? And another good thing to do when you're already that lean is add in the cardio. If you raise your VO2 max, that's going to raise your insulin sensitivity. So maybe to get rid of those last 10 stubborn pounds, like that could be the missing key for you. Please do what I eat in a day while tracking a chronometer like Durian Ratter used to do decades ago. He would be pounding close to 6,000 calories of fruit and sugar smoothies. It depends on what you're doing. The average person, they're not going to be taking in 6,000 calories. And even what I do on the bike, like I'm not burning enough calories to be taking in 6,000. That's a lot of calories. But yes, I do plan to do a what I eat in the day, and I'll track it all and show you guys. Hi, new to this channel. Will you change to a high-protein diet and start resistance training in order to bulk up? Best advice you can give to successfully lose fat on this sugar diet. I'm not concerned with bulking up. My main goals are cycling and running, so I won't be going high protein or anything like that. But if that was someone's goal and they are already this lean, then that would probably be a pretty good strategy. As far as the best advice to lose fat, eat fruit, juice, sugar, vegetables. Eat that until you are as lean as you want to be, and then go from there. Been doing rolling fast for a while, but really want to try sugar fast. Can we eat bread when doing the fast? Bread is my weakness. At the beginning, I was eating bread. I was eating Grandma Sycamore's white bread. I get it from Costco, 0 grams of fat. You can eat bread, but if you're looking for the fastest weight loss, I would cut the starch. That's what I did. Once I cut the starch out, the weight just started melting off. So it really depends on how fast you want to lose weight. If the scale's dropping and you're eating bread and you're happy with the rate of weight loss that's going for you, then I would keep eating the bread. Years ago, I used to watch Scott Murray, a young bodybuilder on YouTube. He died due to being too low body fat and doing extensive cardio every day. The heart runs on fat. While we can make our own from glucose, I'm not sure if it is enough. It's not really a question, but something to keep in mind. Yeah, Scott Murray, I mean, if you can see it in his face, like, he was not well. And when you say doing extensive cardio, I mean, is it high-level cardio or is he just on the bike for 9 hours a day? There's a big difference in somebody that has a high VO2 max or someone that just sits on a bike for 12 hours a day, slowly spinning, just trying to burn extra calories. Don't eat canned food. Now, and this is where this diet really shines. It doesn't have to just be fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. If you want to eat, canned peaches or canned vegetables, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Sure, I mean, is organic, fresh produce always going to be the healthiest option? Yeah, of course. Does everybody have the capability to do that? Not everybody has the budget to afford that or the time to constantly be going and restocking on produce. I mean, that alone right there is a huge task. So we're trying to make this sustainable for the most amount of people possible. And if canned fruit and vegetables is what's going to help somebody stay on this program, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. 30 kilograms to lose, about 66 pounds. I guess what should be my protocol? Please help. Fruit, juice, sugar, vegetables until the 66 pounds are gone. If you can stay as close to eating those 4 things, the weight's going to melt off. Add in cardio, as much cardio as you can, and that will expedite results as well. What are the benefits from the celery juice? When I first started losing weight, I was desperate to try anything. I learned about celery juice, and people claim like celery juice is like this magical elixir and it does like all kinds of like crazy things. Honestly, I don't I don't buy into that. Is it healthy? Sure. I mean, it's celery juice, but I don't think it's like a necessity in order to lose weight. I've been juicing celery for over a year now, so like at this point, it's just part of my daily routine, and it's good. It tastes good. It's fresh. It's a nice way to start your morning. But if there was one thing I would cut out of my daily routine, it'd probably be sitting there every day for 20 minutes juicing celery. His member doesn't work normally because no animal fat makes you infertile and gives you ED. Therefore, he drinks celery juice, which is nature's Viagra. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody says celery juice does all this like crazy magical stuff. This guy's definitely probably on the celery program too, and he probably bought into it, so. Please don't make the video shorter than this, like your content. Yeah, I've been trying to shoot for 20+ minute videos, and that seems to be a good sweet spot for now, so we'll probably just stick with that. Best channel on the skeleton sugar diet. Thank you, I appreciate that. You mentioned you cycle. Do you do it competitively? Also, do you find you recover well enough from workouts with a lower protein ratio? I'm 174 pounds with a goal of getting under 160, but I feel the need to add a little protein powder to my smoothies to make sure I'm recovering well enough after my rides, especially if I pushed it. I don't like do any like bike races or anything like that. I race on Zwift and then I do my local group ride, but beyond that, I'm not like a competitive bike racer or anything. As far as recovering after long rides, I come home, eat a bunch of fruit, drink a bunch of juice, sit down on the couch. I use those Normatec boots, if you've seen those, or like compression boots. And yeah, seems to work fine. Recovery is always, top tier. He is not lean. He is literally starving to death. I am lean. He is dying slowly. Y'all better know when enough is enough, man. He says he's so lean, but I checked his channel. He doesn't even have any videos, but he has a countdown, like waiting to reveal his physique. So I'm sure he's probably just on my program right now, trying to get down to the lean body weight he wants to be before he can reveal it to the whole world. What's your age? I'm 36 years old. How long should someone stick to this if they have 90 pounds to lose? And how often can one have cheat meals like pizzas or fried chicken without slowing progress? If you have 90 pounds to lose, then you should just stick on this until the 90 pounds are gone. As far as having cheat meals, I mean, how many cheat meals can you have without slowing progress? Every cheat meal, every time you go out and eat, a greasy pizza or a greasy burger, it's always going to slow progress to some degree. However, if you need a cheat meal and that's what's going to, keep you on the train to Skeleton City, then have a cheat meal and then the next day just get back on it, go straight sugar fast and go from there. But yeah, I mean, a cheat meal is always technically going to slow progress to some degree. Hello, I watch a channel called Vegan Deterioration and someone in the comments mentioned your channel. I acknowledge that you were flabby before, but you are extremely underweight now.
Son, the vegan hater baker, idiot!
You are awesome. Just keep making videos and don't worry about the idiots. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. No proteins, no fats, no starch. This diet is ridiculous. Yes, no proteins, no fat, no starch until you get to your goal weight. That's the point. It's not something that you stay on for the rest of your life. It's a fast and it's meant to be broken at some point. You look great. Thank you. You should do a vlog from your bicycle. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe I will do something like that. Amazing job, thanks for inspiring us. Do you take any supplements like B12, for example? B12 is usually recommended on fruitarian and vegan diets, but you seem to be doing fine. Hats off for you to pioneering this diet and documenting it for our benefit. I take a multivitamin every day just to be safe. And again, most people that are doing this aren't going to be doing this for longer than 30 days straight. And a lot of people are doing, 5 days and then they add back in a meat day or something. So I wouldn't be worried about any deficiency, a B12 deficiency, but if you are, you just take a multivitamin and be done with it. Do you eat rice and do you eat any protein? I currently do not, but as I'm approaching the end of Skeleton City, I will be adding both those things back in. This video setup is very engaging. Good stuff. Thanks, I think it's a good format, so I'm going to keep running with it. Are you on testosterone or anything similar? No, I am on no drugs whatsoever. You need iodine and selenium, bro. How do you get your daily amount? Up until maybe a couple months ago, I was eating one Brazil nut and taking a drop of iodine. I haven't been taking those for the last couple months and everything seems to be fine. But, if you're worried about iodine and selenium, eat a Brazil nut every 2 or 3 days. It has something crazy, like the highest amount of selenium in any food ever. So yeah, if you're worried about that, take a drop of iodine and eat a Brazil nut and you'll be fine. Looking good. I would like to have similar body fat as you, but also to maintain/increase my muscle mass. I'm eating 100 grams of dates and 4 bananas per day with 300 grams chicken and 200 grams of lean beef steak for muscles. Feeling happy and satisfied, but fat loss/weight loss results are not very good. Do you have any advice on that? I'm eating around 1900 calories with that. Not sure why it doesn't work. I don't know if that's all you're eating for the whole day, but basically all 4 of those things I would replace with more wet fruit. Dates and bananas are fine, but they're lower water content than watermelon, oranges, pineapple. So I would replace your fruits with wet fruit, and then I would just cut out the protein altogether until you're at your goal weight, and then you add it back in. Stanley Burroughs invented the Master Cleanse. For decades, people have seen remarkable results from a 10-day Master Cleanse. For decades, people have had success with a 10-day Master Cleanse. Basically just sugar. Yeah, it basically works exactly the same as the Master Cleanse. It's just now we have a protocol to follow after the Master Cleanse, which is, still keeping a low-fat diet with small amounts of protein. Is cereals like Fruity Pebbles allowed? Anything's allowed in your diet. Me personally, I wouldn't eat Fruity Pebbles or cereal. Fruity Pebbles tastes way too good. I'd probably have 2, 3, 4 bowls of Fruity Pebbles and not be able to put it down. But if a bowl of Fruity Pebbles is what helps you stay on track, then, have that at the end of the night. Skip the milk and just use water instead.
Use water. It won't hurt.
Congratulations and thanks for sharing your results and methods. I'm down from 275 to 248 and plan on going down much more. My issue is I'm sedentary because of foot problems, and I'm trying to figure out how much sugar is too much sugar since I'm not actively burning it off. I'm hoping and planning to get more active once I'm down to 240 since I'll be significantly lighter. I'm scared to eat until I'm full because I feel like it's already too much glucose with no outlet. It's really hard not to look at calories because of fear of stall city. Any tips or advice would be appreciated. Thanks. Well, if you're already down from 275 to 248, that's great work so far, so I would just keep doing exactly what you're doing. I know you said you're sedentary because of foot problems. Can you use the gym bike, the lean back one where you can slowly pedal like that? If you could do something like that could help keep you, a little more active. Basically, you're on the right path. I would just literally just keep doing exactly what you're doing, and when your foot heals up, add in the cardio. Would really like both yourself and Cole to do a video discussion. Would be cool. Yeah, that'd be fun for sure. So happy I found your channel. Such a nice vibe and answering so many useful questions. Amazing job on your transformation. You look really happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am really happy. Do you use olive oil and vinegar for salad dressing? I do not use olive oil, but I'll show you what I do. This is what we will use on our salad. It's fat-free and it honestly tastes really good. I think we get this from Walmart. I don't know where we get this, but yeah, look for this fat-free dressing. And this might sound kind of crazy too, but I'll just use ketchup on my salad. It kind of tastes like a Burger King Whopper. You got the lettuce and the tomatoes. It's pretty good. Sounds weird, but don't knock it till you try it. Do you eat jam? Would you recommend using it in the sugar diet? Yeah, I'll eat jam sometimes, just take a spoonful of jam out of the jar. Generally, I don't find I really need to eat jam just because I'm usually drinking a lot more juice or eating a lot more fruit. But yeah, if I'm in a pinch or I'm running out the door or something, I'll take a spoonful of jam. You've turned into Iggy Pop. Yeah, I saw Iggy Pop in 2007, and this dude was so old, but he was running around on stage, dancing, flailing around like a teenager. So honestly, Iggy Pop's got a VO2 max, so I don't mind the comparison at all. That disclaimer is wild. Yeah, and it's funny, and now that I put the disclaimer up, I don't get asked the questions about my libido anymore, so kind of works. Your editing is top tier, and your channel is growing. Great work, Skeletor. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Just make a salt drink if you cramping. Yeah, exactly. I don't experience cramping myself, but on the bike, I'm always drinking Gatorade. So I think I just got my electrolytes in working order. Just started eating black cherries for my sugar addiction and realized I've been losing weight without trying. Amazing. Yeah, and we even get the frozen cherries from Costco, and I'll just throw them in a bowl, let them thaw, and put some sugar over them. And those are great too. Yo, you not only lost weight, but you lost a lot of muscle mass. I think a lot of people are thinking they have a lot more muscle than they do when most of it's actually fat. And so you'd be shocked when you get as lean as me. People will be shocked that they actually thought that they were buff this whole time, but it was really just fat. Seems like people don't understand that most bodies used to be thin and lean throughout the ages. This is the best body type for military, working, moving. Looking back on people a century ago, they were thin and well-dressed. It was normal. My father had the same body and he was in the army. Body stayed the same until he passed on. God rest his soul. Yes, great point, and rest in peace to your father. How are people saying you look shredded? Your bones are sticking out and you barely have muscle on your body. What is everyone on here even seeing? No. When they say shredded, they're talking about every night on my salad, I'm shredding carrots on my abs. That's what they're referring to when they say shredded. You've definitely arrived in Skeleton City in style. Great work. Thanks. You are cyclist thin, not the A word. Probably look great in a nice suit. Model slim. It's only strange for us to see this today because most of us are fat. This is what we look like at 17 years old. We just forgot. Yeah, I think we're all really skewed these days with how Hollywood portrays men and everybody's like jacked to the gills. That's what most men are striving for, which 99% of the time those Hollywood actors are all on steroids. But like, there's nothing wrong with being skinny. That's what I want to start. Maybe this exists already, but I want to... We got the fat acceptance movement. I want to be the head of the skinny acceptance movement. Dude, eat. Right before I came in here to do this, I just ate a bunch of blueberries, sugar water with lemon and vitamin C powder, and then I chugged a big glass of apple juice because I knew I was going to be coming in here and doing this. So I probably just ate more right there than you'll eat in the first half of your day. That intro was fire, bro. Thank you. I was hoping you guys would like the intro. It's a good time now to not join a gym, but train with weights at home and go carnivore for a while. Unless carnivore is going to help me in my running and cycling, I think I'll pass on that. Question: if we crave starch and protein after days of fruit only, is it better to have starch or lean protein cheat to least interrupt max fat burning? I would say it would be better to have starch. Starch is going to be less protein. And that's one of the reasons you even avoid starch to begin with, because starch has more protein than fruit, sugar, and juice. So you're still wanting to keep it the lowest amount of protein, so I would go with the starch over the protein if you're going to have like a cheat meal or whatever. On one of your videos, you stated that you biked 110 miles. What was your nutrition for that ride? I have an Ironman coming up and would love to continue this for the race. Yeah, it was a 101-mile ride, and all I did was drink sugar water, Gatorade, and eat fruit strips the whole time. You can take jelly beans. A lot of people do jelly beans these days. Or you could do gels, Cliff Blocks, any of those like sugary supplement things that the companies make. It's all basically just, glorified expensive sugar. What bike do you have? I have a 2019 Imonda SLR. Only in the Western world would people actually try to look like the boy in striped pajamas. That's pretty funny, and that's very, very true. And in the end, it is kind of crazy. Like, we're all on here on our expensive iPhones, recording these videos, all just trying to basically look like what they naturally look like in the third world countries like Kenya, because they don't have access to all the greasy fat food that we're all eating, and they're just living off of, sugar cane or corn or, rice or whatever. So that's a funny comment and very true as well. Bro, we're gonna have to nominate you to be Cole's running mate for Vice Prez of Skeleton City. Yeah, I would take that position 100%. Commander Cole all the way. What about stevia? Stevia is basically just fake sugar. Use real sugar instead of stevia. But if something has even this dressing that I showed earlier, like one of the ingredients is stevia leaf. I'm not going to stress about it. Like if something has stevia in it, I don't care. I'll eat something with stevia, but I'm not going to replace real sugar with stevia because there's no calories in it. Stevia is fake sugar. It should only be used as like a flavoring thing. Grandma here. So are you trying to get to the lowest body fat possible? Huh? Why? Hey, Grandma. Yeah, basically what I was just saying. I'm just trying to get, that skinny Ethiopian third world look. That's why I'm doing it. Apologies if this has been asked before, but when you say juice, do you mean fresh pressed juice, Sunny D ultra processed juice, organic, concentrate? Yeah, I actually basically mean like all four of those things. Of course, like if I was Elon Musk, like I would only drink fresh pressed juice. Like I would have a dude that's a full-time juicer and he'd be literally juicing around the clock. He'd be juicing me fresh pineapple juice, fresh apple juice, fresh orange juice. Unfortunately, I don't have that convenience. So the next best thing is buying juice straight off the shelf. And I know I keep on shilling these things, but yeah, these things are frozen juice from Walmart, $1.20 or $1.50 for the orange. If you're trying to drink a lot of juice, like these things come in clutch because you don't got to store tons of heavy juice and haul gallons and gallons of juice on the way home. Yeah, so most of my juice is those frozen juice concentrates. But yeah, basically whatever juice you can get your hands on, that's the juice you want to drink. Another question is artificial sugar, diet soda. Allowed to cut down the calories or should I just go for straight soda? Yeah, I mean, a lot of those diet sodas, I don't know, is there such thing as a diet soda that doesn't have caffeine? I'm not sure if there is, but I feel like pretty much all diet sodas just end up having caffeine in them anyway. Skip the diet soda, go full sugar soda, or better yet, just go the frozen juice concentrate that I just showed. It's cheaper and it doesn't have carbonic acid in it, so it's safer for your teeth. If I am gonna have a soda, I'm not opposed to soda at all. I just normally don't drink soda just because I just make a bunch of juice, and it's easier for me to drink juice. But if I am gonna have a soda, I'll just shake the soda up. Shake it up and pour it in a cup and let that fizz come out. And then there'll just be less acid in there, and it actually will be less harsh on your teeth. That's a good tip. If you just like love soda and you have to have your soda, shake it up and get rid of some of that acid, and that goes a long way for your teeth. What were your biggest issues before losing weight, and did you start feeling better during this process? I'm specifically wondering about mental and cognition because that's my selfish reason for asking. Haha, thank you. Yeah, my biggest issue before losing weight was joint pain, knee pain, ankle pain, foot pain. As far as mental cognition issues, I'm very sharp now, but I don't think that was something like I didn't really experience brain fog before. I never did keto, I never did fasting or anything like that. So yeah, while my mental cognition's like 10 out of 10 now, it was fine before then too. But I know a lot of people do report on eating this way and the brain fog disappears. So if you're experiencing like brain fog or whatever, then this is the diet for you. You need to make a shirt live from Skeleton City and sell it. I want one. B-Rad's always in the comments and he's always got the best ideas, but honestly, I want a live from Skeleton City shirt, so I'll look into making one for sure. You have a very calming disposition. I have longed to be as lean as you. I am 2 days in on fruit, veggies, honey, and sugar only. I must admit, it is a little scary. It seems like you would gain weight on this much sugar based on what we were taught all our lives. Because of your results and calm, articulate teaching style, I have the confidence to go for it. If you don't mind, can you tell us a little more about your background and present lifestyle, your career, education, family upbringing, etc.? Thanks, Scott. I work from home, so I do have the luxury of, working near where the kitchen is, so I don't have to like haul a whole lot of fruit to work or anything. So that is an advantage to eating this way. Education, I went to like a year of community college because I wanted to stay on my parents' I was 18 and I got kicked off their health insurance and I wanted to stay on because I was a skateboarder at the time. So I did a year of community college and that was all I did. Family upbringing, I grew up in an Asian household and we ate rice 3 times a day. It was basically like every day just eating rice and soups and stews. And then maybe like once a week we'd have like a fancy, steak and shrimp dinner that we would still eat with rice. So yeah, I was always very skinny growing up. And not coincidentally, I was always eating a ton of rice and a ton of, low-fat foods. So yeah, that's basically, in a nutshell, my sort of a little insight into my background. Is your wife as slim as you? Just curious. She is not currently. She's lost over 50 pounds and still losing, and she has no desire to be anywhere near Skeleton City. And to be honest, Skeleton City for women, it ain't the same Skeleton City as for men. It's right next door, so women should never get to single-digit body fat. I mean, healthily, they shouldn't. It'll really mess up like their estrogen levels and their hormones. So women's Skeleton City is a little different, and so she'll definitely never be going to my Skeleton City. And I don't even know how much of her own Skeleton City she wants to go to. But that's fine because honestly, women should have a little more body fat anyways. What are your thoughts on eating high fat and protein once or twice a week and then sugar diet on alternate days? The fat and protein days would be more sedentary days. Yeah, so you're basically kind of saying like have a cheat meal once or twice a week. If you're gonna have high of anything, I think you should go high protein and moderate fat instead of high fat. Or maybe you just mean like, go to Red Robin and eat a burger or whatever. But yeah, if that's what keeps you on track and you do that once or twice a week, and then the other 5 days are straight, sugar, juice, fruit, vegetables, as long as the scale's dropping still and you have good energy, do that. To me, you look just normal as we should look. We shouldn't really have excess of fat, have flabby skin, and we should look lean with low body fat percentage and some muscles. It's just crazy how people are judging based on their own beliefs and what's normal for them. Yeah, thank you. And in the end, like everybody wants to tell me how I should look. Like everybody just speaks on muscle. You got to add muscle. You should do this. You should do that. Like, did you ever stop to wonder? Maybe I like the way I look, which honestly, I really don't care. It's for me, I don't really care about my aesthetic. It's all about performance for me. But what if I did like this look, I mean, nobody stopped to ask that. They all just want to say what I should look like. But yeah, that's what you want to look like, but not everybody wants to look like that. And this is a very healthy way to look. So, yeah, I mean, people just need to worry about themselves and you do this diet and you get lean and then you add your muscle and you look sexy in the way you want to look, and that's all there is to it. But I'm going to do what I want to do. I like the longer video as well. What is your go-to fruits and veg? Is there fruit and veg you stay away from or eat more of? For me, it's just basically avocado. As far as banana and dates, I always have a bunch of bananas on hand. Bananas to me are more of kind of like a snack, an in-between, 1 or 2 bananas. I don't sit there and eat 10 bananas. And then dates are always a before bed snack for me as well. So other than avocado, I really don't avoid any fruit or vegetables. And my go-to is I just Google seasonal fruit and I just try and buy whatever's seasonal. Lately, it's been a lot of pineapple, a lot of berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. And then we always generally tend to have oranges on rotation. So that's kind of my go-to for me. If you ever stop exercising for a week and just eat normal on this diet, let us know. I'd be curious to know if it's the exercise, the food, or the increase in metabolic rate. Yeah, I would say it's all 3 of those things. Cardio increases insulin sensitivity. And then when you're eating a high-carb diet with no fat, there's no insulin resistance happening. And then also, the increased metabolic rate and where you're just your metabolism's on fire all the time. So it's probably a combination of all 3. What's funny is since starting this channel, I started it, was it last Saturday? I think I started it, today's Thursday. I think I started it last Saturday, and I've just been literally nonstop writing you guys back. That's all I do is film these, edit these, write back. Film, edit, write. So I've barely been able to even do the normal amount of exercise I do. So right now, to answer your question, it's actually a great week for me to be answering this question. Everything's been the same. The scale's been the same. I don't count my calories, but I would say I'm probably eating less because I'm doing less. I'm not on the bike burning off a bunch of calories and having to eat them back. So yeah, your appetite's just gonna, regulate with the amount of activity you're outputting. But yeah, I mean, everything is basically the same this week with a lot less exercise. Glad to hear your take on alcohol. What I find interesting is nobody seems to have the same take about soda. Obviously a lot less damaging than alcohol, but damaging nonetheless. Yeah, my biggest gripe with soda is the carbonic acid. If you mean because it has high fructose corn syrup or something, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. If I was Elon Musk, yeah, I would have fresh pressed juice all the time. I wouldn't ever have the need to, be running late and run out the door and, grab a handful of hard candy or something. Is high fructose corn syrup the healthiest option? No, but as far as it being sugar that you're using for energy, your body's not going to care if you're getting, organic cane sugar or, or an organic orange than if you're getting the sugar from the high fructose corn syrup from a soda. So yeah, if you're in a pinch and you need to drink a soda, there's no harm in that. Since I started, I am down to 1 cup of coffee a day. I have energy from sugar instead. Yeah, exactly. And then maybe eventually that 1 cup will turn into decaf. And then probably eventually, if unless you like the ritual of drinking coffee, you'll probably just eliminate drinking it altogether. Great point made about losing muscle mass. People don't realize it's the loss of fat mass, period. Metabolizing muscle is not a mechanism the body has. Exactly. If you're eating enough food, glucose is muscle sparing. Your body's not trying to catabolize all the muscle. It's taking the fat for energy. That's the whole point of eating enough sugar, The body's only going to start eating away at muscle if you're not giving it enough carbohydrate. Hey man, what's your VO2 max? It's probably in the 70s. I've never gotten it tested in a lab, but my Garmin watch, it varies anywhere from 68 to 71. So I usually just say I'm a 70 VO2 max. And I've watched videos on people who've gotten it tested in a lab and then compared it to their Garmin. And they say it's pretty accurate for the most part. So yeah, anywhere from 68 to 71, probably say 70. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off here and we can just pick it up tomorrow. Again, any questions? I said I used to answer 99.9% of the comments and now it's becoming harder and harder to even do that. So leave me a comment and I'll 85% probably respond to you in the comments. But if I don't, just know I tried my best. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.